Oh, hi. So if you're watching this video, that means you chose to do the make your own paint project. Maybe think about it less as make your own paint as make some stuff that will put color on paper, because I think that's an easier way to look at it. So here at the start of the video, I'm going to show you the ideas I had. And also one of the reasons I wanted to make my own video for you guys is because I watched a bunch on YouTube, and what I got away from it is that everyone has really nice stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely in quarantine and don't have talcum powder or white glue, or I don't even have flour. So chemically, as far as a texture for your paint, it'd be nice if you could make kind of a base for it. Acrylic paint's got kind of some body to it, so ideally you could make a little bit of a paste with 1 part flour, with some flour and salt. Also, I've seen people make cool kind of paints with just Elmer's glue, watered down with the color added to it. And you can only use these for 1 day. Don't save these. They're gonna be dead after today. They'll get really gross. But as you can see, I don't have those things, and so this is what I'm encouraging you guys to do: is just make some stuff with what you got. So I did coffee, berry jam, curry powder. Those are the 3 tones I was going to work with. And as you're watching, you'll see that I'm mixing them. I'm mixing vinegar into all of them, just because vinegar has this cool property where it breaks stuff down. So it dissolves it a little bit, so it'll just make the jam a little bit less gumpy. It'll make the curry powder a little bit more dissolved and a little bit more like a dye. I also salted some of them because salt has this cool property where it helps things stain better. So I'm hoping that a little bit of salt in there will help it stick to the paper even more. So that's the only chemistry I have to offer you, is try to make a bit of a base if you're able, and think about, how you can break your stuff down the most. Cool, so those kind of worked, and they're very faint, and that's okay, because this is just a experimental lab to see what we can do. If I had time and energy, I'd try to make it darker brown, but that's okay. And also, just for funsies here, I posted a little pellet to show you I couldn't get the exact same color of that curry powder yellow that I'm using, but this kind of gives you an idea as you start thinking about it, hey, what can I do with these colors? And I was thinking, in my sketchbook, I have a picture of a rabbit, and so I thought, okay, well, with some soft shades of brown, a little bit of yellow maybe to make it look a bit wild, some pink, maybe I can just color that in. As far as this project's concerned, guys, I don't expect you to do a full painting, because this is already a lot of work to make your colors. If you just wanted to paint a cool design on the paper to see how they look when they're dry, that's fine. A mandala, or some stars or some hearts. Just get them on the page and see how they look. I always seem to do nature stuff, so I'd probably end up painting a tree or just some flowers or just a little floral thing. But yeah, whatever you feel up to, and also whatever colors you have. If you watch this whole video to the end, I found myself super disappointed with how the coffee one worked out. I've done a ton of coffee paintings in my life, and usually you've got a palette with several different levels of coffee, so just a watery coffee, but there's this cool mud that forms at the bottom of a coffee cup or a French press that's really thick, really rich. It's just sediment. It's not coffee grounds, but it's the powder, but it's wet. It's very good. So I recommend, if you can achieve that, basically just that is really the best brown tone. But what I have is good enough for doing a wash. As you can see, I'm painting now, so I can take that brown thing and get a soft brown on everything, and then I just have to be super patient. So you'll see I'm getting the coffee grounds on the paper, and that's not so satisfying, but once it's dry I can just brush them off. And so for me to achieve a proper brown color with these, I'll have to just build it up layer by layer by layer, but I have time. Yeah, you can just watch. I'm going at it, building up layers. That yellow goes on kind of strong and kind of strange, but my plan is to go over it all with a glaze or a wash of my light brown at the very end to kind of bring them all back together. Anyways, it's kind of fun. What I want to do is call this style of painting like Goblin Style. So like all these like cool YouTubers with all the nice stuff, like, yeah, if you've got it, like that'd be a really fun lab. But if you don't, like, why not just go pick some grass and some leaves and like grind them up in a bowl with a rock and add a little vinegar to it and see what happens. I will be absolutely delighted to see what you can come up with. Just sits around the house, just around the yard. Enjoy yourself, make the best of it. And here at the end, I've done a couple more layers of wash on this rabbit, and then because I'd actually like it to look like a finished thing and that coffee's just not quite dark enough, I'm going to go in with some ink and give him an outline and give him a little finish. Alright, thanks for watching and good luck with yours.